with Loving Life's Little Blessings. Welcome to Creative Monday. I don't have a Creative Challenge Club card for you anymore because the Creative Challenge Club was ran by Wendy Cranford, and she's no longer doing the Creative Challenge Club right now. She's taking some time off for that. So I have one more card that I had already done and filmed for you guys, and that will be next week, and there's a sketch that goes with that. But for Monday, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing card sketches or making a card. I really love Christina Warner's Make a Card Monday, and it just seems that Monday is a really good fit for making cards. And I'll be using card sketches because that's what I just find easier to do. So most of the time you'll find a card sketch or maybe a color combo that I find on a lot of the other card sketch blogs, and I'll always link those for you guys. Today I'm just actually making a card that I was inspired by another card I saw, and I kind of tweaking it and using this brand new set. This is called Sheltering Tree, and I really love it. And then I'm also going to be using A Dozen Thoughts. This is a great stamp set because it comes with sentiments and then images, and so I always love that because then it's like an all-in-one stamp set. So let's get started. I'm using No Surprise today, Bermuda Bay. I've cut this piece of cardstock at 4 1/4, so it's just giving me a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 size card, just like this. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some layers. I have a crushed curry layer, and I've just taken a 1/4 inch off each side. So I've cut the yellow piece at 4 by 5 1/2, and so that gives me this next layer, okay? Then I have 2 different pieces of designer paper, and this is from the Birthday Bash designer paper. And you can see it here. It's really beautiful paper, and even though it's meant like maybe for birthdays or its name is birthday, there's some really great pieces in here that you can use for anything. So I was going to see which one looked better. This is going to be the next layer, and it's going to go like this. Or I could use this one. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with this one. I like that the best. And this piece can go down. I'm just going to use regular adhesive for this, and we're going to layer that right down. Okay, so this piece we're going to wait before we put it down, and I have some yellow baker's twine, and we're going to wrap this around. Totally messed up and had to like redo the bow. I totally ended up making a knot and I had to take it out. So I just made it, I'm putting the bow down here at the bottom, and I can never get the bow straight. And I know I just watched speaking of Christina Warner, I just watched one of her videos where she does tying a bow and how to make it easy and straight, and I still can't do it. So I just stick a little glue dot right under my bow and press it down, and then I fan all this out, and there you go. Okay, so now this piece is going to go onto pop dots, and it's gonna go straight down. So let's get pop dots or dimensionals or whatever you have is fine. Now that that piece is on, we can get to stamping. So I have this Whisper White piece of cardstock. It is cut at 3 1/2 by 4. And we're gonna start, we're gonna use a bunch of different colors. We're using Pear Pizzazz, we're using Crushed Curry, Soft Suede, and Calypso Coral, and then I'll be using my Stays On ink pad. So let's start with the Pear Pizzazz. And we're putting this piece right at the bottom here. Then we're going to grab the actual tree parts. We're all done with Pear Pizzazz. So then let's get soft suede, and we're gonna stamp this tree. I'm doing it slightly over to the side. Okay, so then we're done with that part. So then here's gonna be the fun part. And we're all done with soft suede, so let's close that up. And then we're putting this piece on our block. And this part's gonna be fun. So we're gonna take our Calypso coral and we're gonna dip this into the Calypso coral and just get really good coverage everywhere, okay? Then we're gonna set Calypso coral aside. We're gonna grab our crushed curry, and then we're gonna rock the sides of this. And it's gonna get all over the block, and that's gonna be okay because I'll clean the block after I'm done with this. But I'm just coming in on the sides and doing it. So then we can bring this back up here. I'll breathe on the stamp a little bit just to re-moisten that ink. And then we're gonna stamp this down, and part of it's gonna hang off this card. That's okay. I wanna put a sentiment over here. That's why I'm kind of putting it off to the side. And you'll see an example of the first card I made when I was doing this. So now we're all done with our inks. I like to close them up because otherwise I end up sticking my elbow or my hand or my arm right into the ink. So I'm just using the little bicycle that comes in this little set, and I am using that in StazOn, using my StazOn ink pad with that, and I'm stamping it right over the image of the tree right there. And then I cleaned that. And then the last thing I'm gonna do I'm using this Wish Big image, or sentiment, I'm sorry. Wonderful. Okay, so how I fix this happens to me sometimes where I live, these blocks just don't grab the ink or the stamps sometimes. So I just stick a little bit of adhesive on there and that solves the problem. So then I'm gonna put the Wish Big right there. One last thing I'm going to do before we attach this to our card base is I'm gonna grab a rhinestone. I want a little tiny one. So then we can take this with just some regular adhesive right down the middle. Just like that. So this was the first one that I did, and you can see that I just used Whisper White on the background, and I didn't like it. I felt like this got lost. So I wanted to pull out another color that I used, and I used that yellow down here in the baker's twine. So I went ahead and backed this one with yellow, and I think it looks a lot better. So let me know which one you guys like better. Do you like the one with the Whisper White background or the one with the crushed curry background? And of course, you guys know that I love Bermuda Bay. It is my favorite color. I mean, I have to just say it's my absolute hands down favorite color. So thanks guys so much for coming by. Make sure you head to my coordinating blog post by just clicking right up here. You'll be able to see photos of both of these cards. So thank you guys for coming by, and I will chat with you later.
Hey, if you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination.